Hey, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today because I've got some super exciting updates coming your way, especially for all you Kansas City Chiefs fans out there. With Super Bowl 59 fast approaching, we've got a lot to talk about, and I'm about to share some huge news about two of the most iconic players in the NFL right now, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Seriously, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Let's kick things off with Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are favored by just 1.5 points in this Super Bowl matchup, and the over-flight for the game is set at 48.5. But honestly, when I look at these numbers, the one that really stands out to me is that spread 1.5 points. It's incredibly tight, and that's where Patrick Mahomes comes in. If you followed his career, you know this guy's been money in these situations. Mahomes' playoff record when he's either a favorite by a field goal or less or an underdog, it's flawless. He's undefeated, both straight up and against the spread. This guy has been in countless high-pressure moments, and no matter how tight the game gets, he knows how to pull through. Now, let's talk about Mahomes' incredible postseason stats. We're talking 43 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, quarterback rating that's nearly 106, and he averages around 278 yards per game with a completion percentage close to 68. I mean, those numbers are mind-blowing. And the thing is, Mahomes doesn't just show up in the playoffs. He dominates. Only two quarterbacks in NFL history have ever beaten Mahomes in the postseason, Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. And, of course, that lost to Burrow. It was an overtime thrower. So it's not like Mahomes is getting blown out in these games. He's been nearly perfect when it counts the most. I think we can all agree that Mahomes is exactly where he wants to be, leading the Chiefs into yet another Super Bowl. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Mahomes is going to do it again? Do you believe he can lead the Chiefs to another victory? Drop a B for believer or D for don't in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going. I want to know what you think. Next up, let's switch gears and talk about Travis Kelce. If you're a Chiefs fan, you know just how important he is to the offense. Recently, Kelce's on his New Heights podcast, and he shared some of his thoughts heading into this Super Bowl. And let me tell you, what he had to say was pretty inspiring. We all know there's no shortage of people out there hoping to see the Chiefs fail. There are a ton of people who want to see this dynasty come to an end and the Eagles rise to the top. But you know what? Kelce's embracing that villain role. He actually said on his podcast, I love it. I love it. At one point, it wasn't that way for him, but now he's all about it. He's using all that outside noise as motivation and rallying his teammates together. Kelce's really embracing the challenge. He's not letting the haters get to him. Instead, he's making it even more personal and pushing harder with every passing day. This mentality has been so impressive to watch throughout his career, especially in the postseason. I mean, the guy averages 85 yards per game in the playoffs with 20 touchdowns, over 2,000 receiving yards, and 174 receptions. That's insane. He's not just good in the postseason. He's an absolute monster. And the thing is, he only gets better with time. If you look back at the divisional game against the Texans a few years ago, Kelce had his best game of the season with over 115 yards and a touchdown. When the lights are brightest, he's the guy who steps up. For Kelce to succeed in this Super Bowl, the key will be getting the other receivers involved. If the Chiefs can spread the ball around, it'll force the Eagles to adjust their defense. And if they start doubling Kelce, someone else is going to be wide open. And that's when the Chiefs' offense becomes nearly impossible to stop. Now, let's zoom out for a moment and talk about the bigger picture. The Chiefs are still in the Super Bowl hunt, looking to win yet another championship. And you know what? This year feels different. The Eagles are coming into the Super Bowl with something to prove. They're looking for revenge after that heart-pounding loss in the last Super Bowl where the Chiefs edged them out 38-35. But here's the thing. The Chiefs have been built for moments like this. With Mahomes leading the charge, they're ready for whatever comes their way. Let's not forget, Mahomes is gunning for his 4th Super Bowl ring. The guy's just built for these moments. He's been through some tough playoff games and has consistently delivered when his team needs him the most. And it's not just Mahomes. The Chiefs' defense has been underrated all year, but honestly, they're playing some of the best football we've seen from them in years. The Chiefs are no longer just an offensive powerhouse. They've evolved into a team that can win in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Trust me, the Eagles are about to learn that the hard way. What makes the Chiefs so dangerous is their adaptability. Even with injuries to key players, Mahomes is still putting up incredible numbers. And here's a bold prediction. Mahomes could very well win MVP next season. His stats might not be as flashy as they've been in the past, but when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, he's been leading makeshift receiving corps to the top. That's the sign of a true leader. And don't forget about Kelsey. There's a chance that this Super Bowl could be his last one, as he might retire after this season. I really hope that doesn't happen, but it's definitely a possibility. If it does, the Chiefs are set up for success moving forward. They've got a young, talented offense that can continue to thrive even without Kels and with Mahomes playing the way he is. It's hard to imagine this team slowing down anytime soon. Mahomes is the engine that keeps this team running, and I fully expect him to continue adding to his already legendary legacy. Speaking of legacies, let's talk about the Chiefs dynasty. We've all seen what the Patriots did, and they set the bar for what a dynasty should look like. But right now, the Chiefs are doing it even better. Since 2018, no team has won more regular season or postseason games than the Chiefs. They've been to the Super Bowl 5 times in 6 years, and now they're looking to make it 3 straight championships. They've already won 3 rings in that span, and they're aiming to become the first NFL team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. We've never seen anything like this before. The Chiefs are the new benchmark for success in the NFL, and it's going to be tough for any team to keep up with them. But hold on, we're not done with the big news yet. There's a huge rumor swirling around that could shake up the Chiefs roster in a massive way. Tyreek Hill, one of the most electrifying playmakers the NFL has seen in recent years, might be on his way back to Kansas City in 2025. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is this even possible? Well, here's the thing. Hill hasn't exactly been happy with the Miami Dolphins organization lately, and analysts have started to speculate that Kansas City could be the perfect landing spot for him. In fact, Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox pointed out that the Dolphins might actually be open to trading Hill for financial reasons. Now, I know a lot of people were surprised to hear this, but hear me out. Trading Hill after June 1st, 2025 would save Miami $16 million in cap space. While Hill's contract runs through 2026, his salary is increasing year by year, and that's putting a lot of pressure on the Dolphins' ability to balance their roster. Trading Hill wouldn't come cheap, though. Knox believes that the Dolphins likely won't be able to get back all the draft picks they gave up to acquire Hill. That first-round pick, second-round pick, and those 3-day 3 selections. But he thinks a second-round pick might be a reasonable price for a player of Hill's caliber. Now, let's talk about what a trade could mean for the Chiefs. Hill's base salary for 2025 is set at $10 million, and his massive $30 million salary for 2026 definitely makes a trade a realistic option for the Dolphins. A return to Kansas City would be huge for Hill, as it would bring him back to a system he's already very familiar with. We all remember how incredible the Chiefs' offense was with Hill in the mix, and with Kansas City's proven track record of bringing former players back into their system. This could be a seamless transition. But it's not just about Hill's personal preferences, it's about the team. Hill had said in recent interviews that if he were to leave Miami, he'd want to join a contender. And honestly, can you think of a better contender than the Chiefs right now? Kansas City has been absolutely dominant in the NFL over the past few years, winning back-to-back Super Bowls and staying consistently competitive. Hill's familiarity with Andy Reid's system and Patrick Mahomes' playing style would make this an ideal fit for both sides. Now imagine what that offense would look like with a receiving core and that includes Tyreek Hill, Rashee Rice, and rookie standout Xavier Worthy. Mahomes would have an absolute arsenal of weapons at his disposal. That trio could be one of the most dynamic groups in the entire league, further solidifying Kansas City's position as one of the top teams in the NFL. Plus, there's another wrinkle to this. Rashee Rice could potentially miss part of the 2025 season due to a suspension, which would make Hill's presence even more valuable to the team. Adding Hill to the roster would not only make the Chiefs' offense more dangerous, but it would also be a strategic move to ensure they maintain their dominance in the highly competitive AFC. Kansas City has set a high bar for the rest of the league, and the Chiefs front office knows that other teams are going to do everything they can to close that gap. Acquiring a talent like Tyreek Hill would send a statement to the rest of the NFL that Kansas City is committed to doing whatever it takes to stay on top. So, what do you think? Could Tyreek Hill be making his return to the Chiefs in 2025? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so make sure to drop a comment below. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates. Stay tuned. I'll be back soon with more on the Chiefs and all the latest NFL news. Thanks for watching.